Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More, and I am back from a long absence with another episode in our Knave solo series, where I'm going to attempt to catch us up to the present and then push forward beyond what I have seen so far. So some of this I did on my own. That's where we're going to start with session 5 here, and then once we get to a certain point, I'll have done no other work, and then everything will be decided as we play. So let's see how this goes. Session 5. It is Twins Day, the 16th of Tallow, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Alden returns to searching for Melina's home. He had breakfast with the priestess, her people, that morning, so hasn't needed to consume any of his rations. I rolled a series of random encounters to see if anything happens during his search. 3, 4, first hour was uneventful. 2 and 5, second hour of the search, uneventful. 5 and a 2, third hour of the search, uneventful. 5 and a 5, fourth hour is also uneventful. That means that it is now 8, 9, 10, 11, it is noon. After careful searching, observation, and asking the right questions, Alden locates her residence around noon. It is cold now. The wind has come up, and rain falls from the overcast sky. Alden shivers as he huddles under an awning several paces away from the townhouse that Melina lives in. It is a tall, narrow, 3-story building that shares a wall with its neighbor. Is there a basement? I rolled a 4. The answer to that is no. There's no visible basement. Alden will attempt to sneak past the house and down the alleyway towards the rear of the building. Dexterity roll was a 17 plus 1 for an 18. This is a success. The back portion of the house has a walled garden. Alden lifts himself up and looks over the wall. And is her garden well kept? Rolled a 9. That is no, but. The back garden appears to be in poor shape. An old stone bench rests among dead leaves. And there is an old garden shed next to the outhouse. Alden grimaces bitterly at the wasted potential and the money. He pulls himself up and over the garden wall. Is the shed unlocked? I rolled a 13. Yes, but. As Alden opens the shed door, it creaks loudly. Is anyone home to hear that sound? Unlikely. I rolled a 9 and a 12. We take the 9 because this is an unlikely roll, which gives us a result of no, but. Alden curses as a dog in the next door garden begins to bark. Remember, it's cold and wet and a little bit rainy outside, cold and damp. He attempts to hide behind the shed. After a few more minutes, soaking in the rain, he slips inside the shed. then closes the door. The dog barks again, but nothing else happens. He prepares himself to wait for Melina to get home. Does he find anything useful in the shed? Likely. I rolled an 11 and an 8. That is a shakeup. As Alden makes his way into the garden shed, he smacks his ankle into a wooden crate. "Damn!" he exclaims, as he hops on his other foot, then loses his balance. Falling against another crate, he tumbles to the floor. There his hand finds a metal ring that had been half hidden underneath the crate he'd fallen against. Alden blinks his eyes in surprise as he realizes that he has found a hatch that opens to lead somewhere underneath the shed. What is under the hatch? And this is the end of where I have gone so far with this adventure. So now we're going to take that question to our oracle, a lonely knave, and we're going to ask this question. What is underneath that hatch? That's going to be a D20, a D8, and a D6. $15, 2, and a 6. Refuse tension selfishly. Refuse tension selfishly. That doesn't tell me anything about what might be inside this crate. So I'm going to break one of my own rules, and I'm going to roll a second time because I just don't have an idea. Now, I think I know what I'd like to be underneath there. But, you know, that's the player in me. So, rolling again. 20, 1, and 3. Change emotions happily. Change emotions happily. I'd say that this, what would make Alden happy right now? Well, that is, he would love to have something that, he would love to find that brooch, essentially, or something that he can use. And that says to me that what he has found is something that leads towards that goal. He has found something that he needs. So I would say that this hatch leads underneath towards, the hatch leads to an underground chamber. Okay, well, I'm not going to sit here and write this in front of all of you. So let's just get into this story, okay? So the hatch leads to an underground place. Let's bring our little map over here, okay? And I'm going to just briefly sketch out an underground place. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now, let's see, are there doors? There are 4 doors. Well, yeah, okay, stick with that. This is interesting. Let's see, I want to see, where's the first door? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Second door. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 3. Third door. 1. And then the fourth door. 1. Actually, I'm going to have that fourth door be the hatch that he came in through. That makes sense. So let's put that here. There's the ladder, or the little stairs. I think it would be more like a little quick staircase that leads up to the bottom of this shed here. All right. So Alden discovers this space underneath, and it is not well lit, but it is definitely something that he's like, oh, this can help me. So does Alden have anything to make a light with? Let's check our character sheet back at the beginning and our equipment. He does not. Okay. So instead of he's going to descend into this place. Now, what is inside of this room underneath? My imagination is that this is a secret cellar essentially underneath the shed. But it is also like, Melina doesn't lock this shed door. Or didn't lock this shed door. Now, maybe she didn't lock it on purpose, or maybe it was an accident, an oversight on her part. Let's see. We don't know, and I'm not going to ask the Oracle that question. But I would say that this part is. I think we're going to have some more crates. Okay. Maybe a couple of barrels. And then one stacked up on top of them. Okay. And then there's going to be something in the middle. I'm going to make a random d6 roll. On a 1, it's a bad thing. On a 6, it's a good thing for Alden. Okay, a 4. All right, there's nothing. So in the middle, there's just an empty spot. All right, that's fine. So Alden descends down into this space. He doesn't have any light, so it's just whatever is coming in from outside, which is really not a whole lot of anything. So he's just feeling around in the dark, and he feels the crates, and he feels the boxes, and it's cold and it's damp. I would say that it's probably not that dirty, because let's say that this place is actually walled off in stone to a certain extent. Maybe it's an old wine cellar when this place was originally built, and or there's a connection to the ruins. Excuse me, the ruins that are underneath Old Hassanlan. We're not sure which part this is yet. I think it could be fun if this is part of the ruins, but we're not there yet. So Alden is going to start searching through these crates. Now, I'm going to ask my Oracle, does he find anything useful in these crates? And that is going to be, I would say it's a 50-50 chance if it's useful to, no, it's a likely. It's likely. He's going to find something. So we're going to roll 2d20 and then take the highest. All right. That is a 20. Okay. And that is an 18. Well, this is a good roll no matter what way you slice it. And yes, and. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say yes, and. The biggest thing that he needs right now is light. So he starts going through the barrels right there. And they're storage barrels, but one of the first things that he finds is he actually finds an old lantern that's just been placed on top of these barrels. It's probably a spare, or maybe it's a spare lantern that has just been placed in here for some unknown purpose. But when he opens up the barrel, what he finds is inside it's filled with some straw, a little bit of sawdust, and flasks of oil for the lantern, among a few other things that might be seen inside of a barrel, because barrels didn't always contain liquids. They usually did, but not always. So he is able to light up this lantern, and now he has a lantern. So I'm going to add that to our inventory. He's got a lantern and a flask of oil. All right, those are useful things for him to have. Okay, now keep in mind, this is really it's about 12:30 in the afternoon. So it's still, middle of the day. It's a stormy day. It's not a pleasant day, but it is still daytime. So Alden is going to have to be very careful about being seen if he goes back topside. But for now, he sees these other doors leading out of this chamber. I think Alden is going to move to check the northern door, because that's the door that leads back towards where the house is. And that is his main concern. So now my next question is this door locked? And I'm going to leave that as a 50-50 because I'm not sure. It's a 9. No, but, well, that's easy. No but means that it's not locked, but it is trapped. And as Alden grabs his door to test whether or not it's locked, he is going to trigger this trap. He's going to have to make a saving throw versus a poison needle, as the poison needle comes out and tries to prick him. Okay, so in that case, he's going to need to make let's call it a dexterity save. And that means that he's going to need to roll. So we're going to look at our character sheet here, and he needs to roll. He got a +1 to his d20 roll, and he's got to roll a 15 or higher on this roll in order to save versus his dexterity. What do we get? We got a 5 plus 1 equals 6. That's he's failed that saving throw. So Alden gets hit by the poison, which means that he's now going to have to make a Constitution saving throw to try to resist this poison. And his Constitution, he gets a +2 to that. Okay. That's an 11, 12, 13. So there's still not enough to succeed. So Alden is affected by this poison. He knows this is some bad news. So he's feeling very ill right now. But at the same time, the door is now pushed open. What is beyond this door? I am picturing that beyond this door is going to be... Let's ask the Oracle again. No, let's not ask the Oracle. Let's use our own imagination. Let's keep moving forward. Not everything has to be an Oracle question. So what we've got is... another chamber. Okay. Now, are there any other doors in this chamber? 50-50. That is an 8. An 8 is a no, but there are no other doors to this chamber. But I think that there is something that connects up to, say, the house up above. So there's not a door, which means there's not a hatch either. But let's say it's there's a grate, like a ventilation grate up above here, kind of like how you might see in some older homes that had, various forms of gas heating and stuff, and they would have grates on the side to let the heat in. And you see that in some houses now that have smaller heating units. It's a ventilation shaft basically. And so there's this little vent that leads up towards the house. We're going to put that here. All right. And so that's the general shape of this room. But now, what is the nature of this room? This I will ask the Oracle, because I like a little bit more randomness here, and I think it's done well for us so far. All right. We're looking at a 6, a 3, and a 5. Break the law jealously. Okay, so this room obviously contains something that breaks the law. This is something that proves that Melina is not a good person. So one of the things that we had going on before was she was trying to do something with an orphanage. We weren't quite sure what that was. Somehow the orphanage was involved. And I'm going to say that this room is kind of the proof of what was going on with that orphanage. And so I am going to say that what we see here, this room was being used as a kind of holding cell or workshop for experiments that she was doing on subjects that she got from the orphanage. And so that she would get them, she would bring them from the orphanage here, bring them down to this basement, run experiments, and then, maybe return them to the orphanage. Okay, so there's some sort of unlawful experimentation going on down here, and it's being jealously guarded to make sure that no one finds out about it. Maybe the kids don't make it out of here. Maybe the people don't know what happens to them. So let's find out. Is it unoccupied? 17. Yes, it is currently unoccupied. Okay, so Aldem, he finds his way into this room. So we know that there's some experimentations going on in this room. I'm going to say that given the nature of this stuff, Melina is a secret, I think she's a secret spellcaster. And this is part of her mage's laboratory. So what is going on here? There are sigils. There's probably a table here in the middle. And then maybe there's some shackles for this table. Let's kind of do a little bit of very basic drawing there. But there's some shackles in that table. And we're seeing some kind of dressers containing alchemical and magical equipment over there, closer to the door. And then there's all sorts of tools ranging from minor surgery tools to, strange potions and inks and pens that can be used to draw magical sigils on someone, and all sorts of just weird stuff. Maybe some eye of newt and toe of frog inside formaldehyde-filled jars as well. Just all this icky stuff everywhere, scattered around this place. Identifying Melina as someone who is definitely involved in the arcane in some nefarious way, and that is decidedly against the laws that exist in Hassanlan right now, because Hassanlan is not really arcane positive, as it were. Okay, so he has found this place, but this is not the brooch. So what he is going to do is Alden is going to start searching through this room to see if he can find anything that he can take with him as evidence that not only is this Melina's place, this is a magical place, but also connects it to Melina. So he needs an artifact of the school, and some sort of magical artifact, something to provide as proof. Also, he kind of needs the brooch in order to complete the job, which led him here to begin with. And he needs to do that before he pukes his guts out, because right now he's still very sick. He's affected by that poison. In fact, we're going to have to make another con save. Actually, no. First, the damage from the first save that he failed. So he's going to take 4 points of damage from this poison. He has 12 hit points. That means he is down to 8. Okay, so Alden is just not feeling good. He's probably thrown up at least once at this point. And he starts looking around, and he starts just opening up drawers and going through drawers to try to find something that will identify Melina as a spellcaster. Maybe we can find like a book of spells or something like that. Okay, so that is going to be our question. Will he find something that will identify Melina as the spellcaster or connect? I'd say that if you're going to find something, this is the room that it will be found in. So this is likely. And that is a 5 and a 4. We're going to take the 5. No. Straight up. No. He does not find anything that connects this directly to Melina. He knows that this is bad news. He knows this horrible place. This is evidence of terrible crimes. Melina is clearly a monster. But it's my word against hers. If I take this to the law, no, I must find another way. I must somehow expose this place. Right. Must keep searching. And he's going to move out of this room back into the main room. He's got 2 more doors he can check. So he's going to have to make another check against this poison. And that is a 11. He's got a +2, but that's still 13. It's not enough to beat a 15, so he takes another D6 points of damage from this poison. 1. Okay, he's only got 7 left. 7 damage left. He's going to try 1. You know what? No, he is not. He is not going to. He's seen enough. He is scared. He is hurt. He is frightened, but he thinks if he can get out of here, if I can leave this place, I can lead the law here at some point, and Melina will be put away, and maybe that will help. Okay, and so Alden's going to climb up out of this place, and he's going to try to leave the shed. He's going to blow out the lantern. He left the lantern back behind, closed the door behind himself, and he's going to try to climb out. He's climbed out. He's back in the shed. He is going to attempt to sneak to the wall and climb back over the wall. Now, here's the thing. Can he do it? That's going to be a dexterity roll to see if he can make it over. Actually, no. It's not a dexterity roll to make it over the fence. He can climb the fence. The dexterity roll is to see if he can do so without being detected by the neighbors, because this is a bit of a higher class neighborhood, and it's the middle of the day, and here's this strange guy dressed in ratty clothing that is, trying to climb out of someone's backyard, or back garden, if you will. So this is his attempt. And I think it is raining. It is dark. I would say that he actually, he's got a 50-50 chance. Normally it would be unlikely that he'd be able to make it, but he's got a 50-50 chance. The weather is in his favor. People aren't really looking around outside a whole lot. But let's give him a shot, okay? Let's give him a shot. 2. Nope. Okay. He is not stealthy. He climbs up that fence and crashes down to the ground, puking. Okay. Now, that means he's very detectable right now. Does someone notice him in that alley? This is going to be a yes/no roll. So let's try that real quick. And that is an 8. That is a no, but. So no one notices him, but he is definitely, he's hurting. The dog's barking again. He's got, Grip, stop barking out there. Now get back inside. Here's the dog being pulled back inside the house, barking its head off again. And he has a feeling the town watch is going to come around soon. In fact, let's say that he can hear the town watch coming. That's the but part. He can hear the town watch coming, but they haven't seen him yet. So Alden is going to attempt to run in the other direction and hide. And I'd say that this is something that he's actually a little more skilled at, because he's no longer climbing over a wall. He's just moving down an alley, moving down a street. So this is much more likely. Can he escape the town watch? Actually, no. This is going to be a 50-50. Can he escape the town watch? 17. All right. Actually, this is supposed to be, I should have made this like a dexterity thing to see if he is dodging, not a yes/no question. So 17, but he has a +1 to dexterity, so that becomes an 18. That's over a 15. So yeah, actually he does manage to and get behind there and escape the town watch. So now let's roll for his endurance, his constitution. How's he doing? That's a 12, 13, 14. It's better. But the poison is still affecting him. So he's going to take another d6 of damage from this poison. That's 5. He has 2 health left. He is going to try to make it to a chapel. He's going to try to make it somewhere where he can get some healing. And that is going to take, I'd say that for him, it's just a matter of time. Does he have the time? So, wisdom roll to see if he can locate a nearby chapel. That is an 18 plus his wisdom, which is 3. So he's okay. He can locate a chapel. So now the question is, can he get there, or as he's moving towards this chapel, very, very sick, he's going to make one last Constitution saving throw to see if he can make it to this chapel before this poison overcomes his body. That is a 16. He succeeds in this check, which means that he resists the effects of this poison for now. He doesn't necessarily get over the poison, but he's resisted it. So he makes his way into this other chapel to the Lady of Light, and just hand on the door frame, just kind of shoves his way in. Help! I've been poisoned! And the priest is going to shuffle up and say, my son, oh my goodness, you're You have indeed. You have the look of a man who's been poisoned. What did you do? And did you consume some strange plant? I'm not sure. And he shows him the prick on his finger, and so, this is clearly a terrible thing. So, is this priest going to be able to cure the poison? I would say that is likely. And we've got a 9 and a 13, bringing us to yes, but. So, Aldem, the priest gives him, here, drink this. And he drinks an antidote, a general poison antidote. And Aldem kind of drinks it and then sits back into a chair, like, take a rest, my son. Take a rest. Take a load off of your feet and recover. And we will discuss payment later. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we'll end today's session. Aldem has managed to find something that is terrible, could be evidence of wrongdoing if he can get the authorities to see it. But he also, how can he do that without admitting that he has also committed a great crime himself, breaking and entering? And he still doesn't have the brooch. This is not a good thing for Aldem. He knows that there's some weird stuff going down here, but he can't get what he wants. All right. That is the end of today's session. We have a new character brought in. That is the priest is our new character. There's also a dog, but we won't worry so much about the dog. And that is going to be the end of this session, but that also means we have completed our 5th game session, which means Aldem has just reached 4th level, which means that we get to roll for some hit points for him and do a level up, but we'll do that in the next video. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace be with you. Bye-bye.